Imperium, The Philosophy of History and Politics, Part 2, Chapter 5, The Law of Constancy of Inter-Organismic Power. It has been seen that theories are a technique for weakening the state by trying to work up a friend-enemy disjunction on the basis of the theory. This technique is available not only to internal groups which aspire to attain to true political significance, but also to other states. The other state need not even carry out an intervention in order to reap the benefit of the activity of theorizing groups in another state. We have seen that a state which fights a power not a real enemy is thereby fighting for a third power. This was but an instance of a law which is broader and which is called the law of constancy of interorganismic power. It may be thus formulated: in any age, the amount of power in a state system is constant, and if one organic unit is diminished in power, another unit or other units are increased in power by the same amount. If a statesman, entrusted with the destiny of a state, moves with the sure consciousness of mastery which a feeling for organic laws confers upon him, he can never choose for the enemy of his state a power which his state cannot defeat, for such a power would not be a real enemy. He would know, even if only unconsciously, that the power which his own state would lose in a war it could not win would merely be transferred to some other power, either the one wrongly chosen as enemy or a third power. One of the many phenomena which instance the law of constancy of interorganismic power is that of a given state being racked internally by groups using theories to work up internal contrasts. A point will be reached, short of the point of civil war, which of course dissolves the organism at least temporarily, in this process at which the external power of the organism will be diminished. The power lost passes thereby to another state or states. The circumstances of the total situation determine which other power will be the beneficiary of this accretion of power. Even the particular theory which the agitating group is using plays often a certain role, for certain theories are owned by certain powers. France owned the theories of democracy and equality from 1789 to 1815. England owned the theory of liberalism in its many forms from the middle of the 19th century down to the First World War. Russia took over the theory of dictatorship of the proletariat in 1917. Imperium Part 2, Chapter 5, Section 2. In reality, there is no such thing as a political association or a political society. There can only be a political unit, a political organism. If a group has real political significance, as shown by its ability to determine a real enmity, with the actuality or possibility of war, the political unity becomes decisive, and, even though it started out as a free intellectual association, it has become a political unit and has lost entirely any social or associative character it may have had. This is no mere distinction of words, for the political is its own thought category. To be in politics is not the same as to be in a society, since a society involves no risk of life. Nor can a society become political by calling itself so. True political thinking, occasioned by the presence of a political organism, will not take place in it unless it acquires real political unity, and the only way it can do this is to be the focus of an enmity opposition, with its possibility of war. The fact that a group in an election votes as a unit does not confer upon it political significance. Usually the election itself has no political significance.